What if you could land your next 5 closings in a city where no one knows your name using nothing other than YouTube? I'm doing exactly that here in a new market in Waco, Texas, and I'm going to show you the play-by-play plan, what my first month worth of content looks like. That way you can take some next steps and go and implement them if you're trying to level up your business and life utilizing YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler Roicki. I help real estate agents personally develop, grow, and become the best version of themselves. I do that through my group called The Herd at eXp Realty. We're over 300 agents strong, over 600 closings year to date. And we're just getting started. If there's anything I can do to help and add value, reach out to me anytime. But for now, let's get straight to the game plan. Some context, I moved here to Waco, Texas a few months back. I decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel just to show my partners how it's done and how you can take those first steps and how to really go about in the best possible way. Zero sphere, zero past clients. I'm not leveraging any existing contacts in my network to see traction or success from this channel. In fact, on that note, I want you to not subscribe to this channel. Seriously, I don't want you to subscribe to my Waco channel. Subscribe to the channel you're watching this video on, but not the Waco channel, because I want the people subscribing to the Waco channel to actually be people interested in the market area. And so I haven't even shared this channel with my own team or with any of my social media. So none of the subscribers, are from my existing world. I've avoided that just because I didn't want to skew the algorithm. And the goal with the channel, it's important to understand, like, if you have a channel, what is the goal that you're after? For me, this channel, the goal is to dominate local relocation business and new construction and search, both on YouTube and actually on Google as well. So you're gonna notice if you look at the content, most of it's geared towards new construction homes in this market area because it's big here. That's a big niche locally. There's lots of new construction homes being built. It's great what you can get for the price, even when you compare the alternatives. And so most of my content is gonna be that. And the goal with it is to add warm leads to my database on a consistent basis that are finding me off of YouTube. And I'm going to walk you through my first 10 videos here. So pulling up my channel, and I'm actually going to go to the channel view here so you can see what it looks like from someone finding the channel on YouTube. And on that note, I actually want to share something important here. I'm going to pull up a incognito browser and I'm going to go onto Google and I'm going to search, living in Waco, Texas. I'm just curious to see what comes up. Does anything come up from YouTube? Some things do. My videos don't. So my goal is that my videos would come up here in the future. I want them to come up on YouTube search when someone's searching the Waco area. Anyway, for the time being, if someone is on YouTube and they search Waco, Texas, new construction home, if they search keywords related to my content should start coming up. So it did in this video. If I type other terms, like if I typed living in Waco, hopefully mine comes up. Yeah, it does. So point is, like, that's the goal, is that people would actually find me through the, through search. But anyway, here's the first 10 videos. My first video intentionally was the top 5 reasons why everyone's moving to Waco, Texas. So that's where I kind of introduced myself, who I am, how I ended up here in Waco, what I'm doing with the channel. And I let them know, like, hey, I want to dive into, some of the things I found interesting. And this is based on my own experience moving to Waco, but also just getting to know the local area, like what's really driving the growth and people relocating out this way. So I share that inside the channel. And it's been on a weekly basis at this point, it's my top performing video. It's getting views every single day, 1,300 views. And I'll talk more on the metrics here, but it's, also just driving more eyes on my channel in general. So, of the content, you'll notice that there's 2 categories here. There's 2 clear buckets. The first one is the sit down style videos where I'm literally sitting same spot I am right now. And I'm walking people through the dialogue. If you click those, you'll notice that that's the theme. I'm sitting down, speaking on a specific topic, going through the key bullet points, and then there's a lot of B-roll. And then the other style video is new construction home tours. These are a walkthrough of a new construction home where I'm there on the ground walking through the home. from the perspective of a buyer, if you will. And so if you want to see what those look like, you can watch the videos, but those are the buckets. So talking head videos and then buyer new construction walkthroughs. And, everything is dialed in. You'll notice it's very intentional. Everything from the title to the subjects, to the descriptions, like everything is very intentional. It's got an accurate description. It's got, here's the most important thing, a clear call to action, which is basically how to get in touch with me and why. And that kind of ties into part of what I say in the intro and outro. I want to make it clear who can get in touch with me and why they might want to. So like I'm speaking to that target market area, and I'll get more into why that's so important here. Ultimately everything's optimized even down to the keywords. Now, if you're trying to take your first step with YouTube, what I would tell you, the number one thing is to get your first video posted. Above all else, that's number one. And then number two, once you get your first video posted, is ask yourself this question on the next video. What is one thing you can improve? What is one thing that you can do better? And if you strive to do that every single time you make a new video, like at some point your videos are going to get to a point where they look more like mine. I'm not saying mine are the best thing ever, but I've got a lot of the key little elements dialed in, but that's from my experience making videos, because this is not my first rodeo. It's not my first time on YouTube. I mean, I've done hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos. So the product you see here is based on the fact I've had experience, that. And then also I have help. I had some help, but really because I hired a team of professionals that help me edit and create this content. I could do a lot of this myself, but honestly, even if I did, it's not going to look as good as it does. And it's going to take me a lot of time. I'm at a point right now where I'd rather trade dollars, not time, to get the same product out. And fortunately, I'm in a spot where I can do that. And I know if I do that consistently enough, long enough, that it's actually going to make money, not cost money. So, I'm willing to make that trade-off short term. So that's my first 10 videos. And actually one of them was a listing. So I kind of did the walkthrough just featuring a listing of mine. It's a pretty cool property actually. And you'll notice it has some views too, but that's just in part due to promotion. None of that contributed to the subscriber base. I'll talk more to the key metrics I look at here, but the most important thing beyond getting your first video done is establishing a regular cadence as far as frequency. You want a consistent posting schedule. I would recommend no less than once a week having a new video uploaded, and start with the new property tour if that's where you gotta start. The talking head style videos are a lot more challenging for people because they either don't want to be on camera or they don't know what they're gonna say when they are on camera. So I'd encourage you to start with the lowest hanging fruit. Do what's easiest. Start with touring new construction homes and get a video of that. And follow the format, like literally watch how I do it. If you wanna duplicate that and do it the same kind of way, it's gonna be productive, it's gonna be effective if you follow the same exact formula. Now, let's look at the scorecard. How is this channel really doing? And in order to see that, I'm going to go to my studio, my back office, and assess. Which, by the way, look at this. I got a comment. This person actually reached out to me on social media, so I should be getting on a call. But essentially letting me know they're looking at relocating to Waco. So, most important metric is what's the result? Are people reaching out? So far, I've had 2 people reach out. This would be the second one. I had someone else email. And honestly, for only a month worth of content, I wouldn't have expected any reach outs by this point. So in that key category, it's doing better than I would have anticipated. But the one metric, because there's metrics I think that a lot of people look at that, they're kind of focused on the wrong thing, one of which is subscribers. I'm going to say it point blank, subscribers don't matter. So, while more is, not necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, it's a vanity metric. Subscriber count in and of itself is not going to help you and fill your pipeline, whether you have 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. The more important thing I'd look at is watch hours. So I want this number to be on the up and up right here. So if I look at the past 28 days, that's 78 watch hours. That's the equivalent of 3 full days where my content is out there prospecting for me. So imagine if you could duplicate yourself for 3 entire days, 78 hours. I mean, what's the value of your time per hour? That's a lot of value that my content's putting to work for me. Even if you're not putting the full number on it, that's still a lot of value. And so I want to get to a point where as soon as possible, I want to have more than 24 hours worth of watch time every 24 hours. So that would take building up some meaningful momentum. To me, that's like a metric, because then you've literally got content prospecting for more hours than you have in a day. You're going to make things happen if everything's dialed in as far as your process. And then ultimately, I mean, views is another vanity metric. I mean, I have 1,000 views the past 28 days. I care more about watch time though. And I think total views with the channel, I mean, you can kind of see how the content's doing. Some of the lowest views I have so far is 35. And then the highest is, a couple that are over 1,000. But again, it's a vanity metric because videos that perform like this one, my first video is still getting 52 views every 48 hours. And honestly, it's gone up. If I looked at it like 3 weeks ago, I think it was less than that every 48 hours. So it's actually growing and getting more traction over time, which if you go to the analytics here, you can look at on a per video basis. If I click this one, this is solid. It's getting higher than average, almost 40% audience retention. And then look at this. See, it just keeps going up and up and up. So this is going to keep getting more views over time. I wouldn't be surprised. And most of my subscribers came from this video, I can see. So I wouldn't be surprised if this video gets to a point where it has over 10,000 views just because it keeps growing. So it's going to drive opportunity for quite some time in the future. But let me talk and kind of, wrap up with this idea. Like, why do most people fail? A lot of agents get started on YouTube and they fail to see any traction or results with it. Well, there's a few reasons. The biggest one is that they're just not consistent with it. So an inconsistent posting schedule. Some of them, it's just too generic of contents. There's no intent with the keyword or, audience. And so the views just don't really come because they don't really have a solid plan. Some people get fatigued by talking on camera and they avoid it, and that plays into the inconsistency. But you could dial all that stuff in. If you have no clear call to action in your videos, you're not going to have anyone reaching out to you. So you got to have a clear call to action and a compelling reason on why people should get in contact with you and how they should. And it should be as easy as possible, literally as easy as calling, texting, or emailing you. And then a lot of people quit after their first 3 or 4 months, if they even make it that far. And it's crazy because some people quit because they feel like they're not getting any traction. Other people quit because they get so much traction that they get overwhelmed, and then they find themselves out and about showing properties all the time, and they stop doing what they did to get there. If you can avoid making those pitfalls and at least get to the point where you get your first video done and just commit to doing it every single week like clockwork, and if you're going to commit to it, you got to give it at least 6 months. But honestly, I wouldn't expect any traction until after a year of consistent effort with it. So if you want to see results, you got to give it your best for at least over a year and still be willing to do so, even if the results still aren't showing up by that point. Because at some point, the momentum will build if you're following a proven path and formula. And if you need insights, I'm here to help. Reach out, connect with me. Let me know how I can help and share insights. I've helped people build productive YouTube channels. I work with one of the best in the industry at doing it. One of the best things about YouTube is you can leverage your content even outside of the platform of YouTube, because most people look at it as a way they can organically reach new people through YouTube itself. I like to use the video content to nurture my database as well. So it's kind of twofold. There is an opportunity to reach new people through YouTube, but there's also the opportunity to leverage the same content to stay in front of countless people, each and every single week as you're building up your database. So I'd like both, because both can lead to new business and opportunities and conversations happening as you're building up the pipeline. So I hope that makes sense. I'll be sharing more on that specific aspect of the strategy here on the channel in the future if you make sure you're subscribed, and better yet, opt into my email list. That's where I'm adding the most value, even beyond the channel here. All that in mind, thank you for watching the video. If you do this, you won't just get views, you'll own the attention that turns strangers into closings in your market area. So I'd like that for you. So go and implement it. And if you got questions, drop me a comment. And until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.